be more professional in the near future. So, hey, I know you come here, you want to see magic. We're going to do some magic. We're going to talk some magic. But before I talk that, let me start the stream by talking about this. Thanks, y'all. Look, last week, my daughter, I think it was about a week to the day, my daughter was involved in an unfortunate incident during a crime here in New Orleans, a shooting of all things. One of the people involved was fleeing from the incident and hit my daughter's car. Totaled the car. My granddaughter has 2 broken legs. That's the worst of it. And what I did was set up a GoFundMe, suggested by her mother, something that I considered as well. And I thought, well, I got an audience. Let's give this a try. And let's talk about what happened with this GoFundMe. I know many of you are responsible for this. And now the GoFundMe window won't come up. Of course not. Here's what we did. Another thing that I thought I'd planned properly. I'd hoped to raise enough to get my daughter behind the wheel of a car. I'd set $10,000 as a goal for this event. It was a lofty goal, I thought, and no idea if I'd be able to raise this amount of money with my audience. And, well, as I peek today at these stats, we're at almost $12,000, and wow, this warms my soul. Thank you, every one of you. This couldn't happen to a nicer person. My daughter is an angel. She's well supported from many of her. She's a teacher and she's well loved from her students. So she has a good support group there, but certainly the people that jumped in this effort from my little social media following. Thank you all very much. They're still struggling. Caitlin posted that she was up last night with night terrors and leg problems. She was screaming. This is Adeline. I thought I had the GoFundMe, but this is Adeline with her broken legs. She's smiling, at least in this picture. Rumor has it she hasn't been smiling much lately. That's Caitlin and Gracie and Adeline. Those are my daughter's children, my granddaughter. So hopefully we're on the road to improving. Caitlin still is carless, and you can imagine the trauma of being in an incident like that. They're all still recovering, and thanks to you, a lot of you, they're on the road to better days, and we'll keep y'all posted on that as things go on. The GoFundMe link is in the description, so if you're interested in this situation, you can go to the GoFundMe page below and get that scoop there. Thank you all, chat, for the good vibes. I see you out there chatting the good word, and this is the vibe we promote here. All right, so let's talk a little magic, and let's talk about what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Let's go from familiar to familiar, and this is I'm going to be doing a magic lecture at the Seniors Tour Magic Convention. Actually doing a lecture on short form magic. This is the topic, Trick Talk. Can you see this? These are my new lecture notes, which are available at conjure.com. Concerning content for short-form video consumption. My standard lecture is a street performing lecture, which is this lecture here. Like the shirt, huh? Thank you. It's a new edition. This is my concrete lecture, which I think is available at conjure.com. And for the longest part of my life, this is the lecture I focused on. And the lecture I delivered last January in Florida, where I was berated by questions about what I'm doing these days in TikTok and YouTube and now Reels. And so I put together a little dissertation on that. This is about 20 pages of information. I did print a couple extras of these. Maybe you can just screenshot these pages and read the information. I'm going to go over what I think are a couple topics for the viewers here today, give you all a crash course on the subject. The real value here is page 21, which is not in the manuscript, but online. Let me see if I have a link to show this page. Do I have this to go? Of course not. We only have that in an ideal world. But you can go look at that at conjure.com. And the real value here is you get several routines of mine that performed and explained that have gone viral on YouTube and other platforms. You get video performances and explanations. A lot of these things will be familiar to the members of the platform, as these are excerpts from my members section at YouTube. And thank you all for being a member. If you're not familiar with my membership, it's $5 a month. You get like 20 and more growing regularly tutorials on magic that I do, things that I've, maybe added a little touch to. We're going to do one of those now. I wanted to do one of my most viral tricks. In fact, it's the most viral. I've done it a few times now. I have some alternative reasons for doing it, and I'll talk about those momentarily. But let me get them out of the bag here. And I'll do this in short form style, and then we'll talk about some of the things that I think are important when presenting magic in this capacity. Now, this is a trick that you've probably seen on a short form video, as it is perfect for the Black Mirror. And here's why. It's because when you watch the rings, when you watch it straight on in 2 dimensions, this is where it really looks like they're linking together. I mean, you got to admit, that looks like they're linked. If you were here, you could hold them, but you're there, so I'll hold them. Here's the skedoodle. It's a sound. Listen close. It's the sound that fools your ears into thinking that the rings are linking together. I need about 3 more feet to do this trick. Yeah, so it's the sound that convinces you to thinking the rings are linked. Now, this looks good, of course, because you're watching from the front, straight on. That's where they're up. Yeah, let me turn to the side view, where you can see they're not actually... It's just it's the tapping, it's the rhythm that convinces the ears, that convinces the eyes that the rings are linked. And once you know that, you can do all kinds of things. Yeah, they're not really linked. It just looks like they are. And once you know that, you can do all kinds of things. Here's one more. And that's the mystery of the linking rings. This is the applause cue. That's where you hit the like button, maybe comment or share the video. I'll explain further with the snap of the fingers. They melt right apart like a ghost through a castle wall. See, it's the bell-like tone that fools you when I drop one ring and you hear it hit the other one, you could swear they're linked, but without the sound, you could tell they were never linked at all. Are there any questions? Any questions? So there we go. Boy, that was a workout. Almost didn't get through that thing. Let me explain, as I take a sip of the mana juice, let me explain my ulterior purpose for performing that little sequence. The rings that I just used, brand spanking new. I was fumbling a little bit there. That's one of the reasons why. That's only the 2nd time that I have handled those rings. I ordered them from the eBay last week. They arrived yesterday. I took them out of the bag. I played with them. I said, these will work. And then I haven't had time to perform it. Well, we just got a practice rep in. So let's talk about this trick I just did. And we'll just briefly talk about some of the concepts I use to make this play as it did on short form video. And as we do this, I'll give you guys the value right here. I'll give you a peek. I'll give you a peek at the cliff notes. Here's all you really need to know. We talk about a lot of things in here, but this is all you really need to know in the cliff notes. You want to get good lighting. You want to give your audience a reason to care, and then be consistent. So that's the short of it. That's all you got to do. Really, all you got to do is give your audience a reason to care. That's all you have to do, really, in any good entertainment. So many magicians forget that. What I suggest is this. I'm going to leave this on screen for interested students to study. This is Alex Elmsley's Automatic Producer. And this is something I've talked about a lot, and I'll continue to talk about it. I'll preach Elmsley's gospel to my grave. Do I have the collected works within arm's reach? Of course I do. This automatic producer is in this book, and there's a couple things in this book that are worth studying, and that's one of them. And in the book, Alex breaks these 2 questions down into outline form, or Stephen Minch specifically does this as a outline from Elmsley's lecture. But the 2 questions that make up Elmsley's automatic producer are this: is something of interest happening all the time? And can your audience appreciate the effect? Or vice versa. Can your audience appreciate the effect? And is something of interest happening all the time? So let's examine the rings as I performed it. The first thing I use is what we call the hook. In other words, I'm going to open this effect, this sequence, my short form video, with an initial statement, something in the first 2 or 3 seconds to gauge your interest. And for the linking rings, I say this. You'll see a lot of magicians do this trick on social media, and here's why. So I'm telling you a benefit, and this is giving you a reason to care about the effect. As the viewer, you might say, oh yeah, I've seen this trick. Oh, he's going to tell me why. Why did they do that? So I'm not just, certainly not blindly doing magic to music, which so many of my peers do on the short form platforms, and that often leads to the exact response it deserves, which is fair weather at best. I see y'all chatting. I'm going to chat with you more in just a few minutes. I'm going to blabber for just a little bit. So look, but we give them a reason to care. I'm going to show you why magicians do this. And whether you do or not, you just present the notion that you would. So now that we've got the hook, and we're going to keep something of interest happening all the time. And this is so important in short form videos. You can't take 1 second off. Your audience will scroll. You know, ideally, magic, if you're performing a nice routine, magic is constantly happening, or your audience is anticipating the next moment. And then in the ring routine, I'm doing a fake explanation to keep the interest hooked. You know, I'm delivering this plausible presentation of how the rings could work. And this is what keeps the viewer's attentions grabbed onto there. So I feel this. I feel as I blab these notes to the Black Mirror that maybe I will leave these topics to those most interested. If you are interested, you can get the Trick Talk notes at conjure.com. I've got a pre-sale up today. I just printed an extra 50. I need to take a bunch to this convention I'm going to. And by the way, if you're interested in the convention that I'm going to, I also left a link to that in the description below. I'll be in St. Louis, Missouri this weekend, April 1st through the 3rd. And we're going to be doing, it's called the Seniors Tour Magic Convention. The Seniors Tour Magic Convention. So on my list of things to do today as this, I was also dealing with preparing for this convention, which included my vehicle. My vehicle has been shaking the last week when it hits high speeds. Turns out my rim is dented. The dealership won't fix it. They won't look at it till Tuesday. The rim guy needs to order something from the dealership, and I can't. Yeah, it's been a day. Like I said, it's been a day. As I was saying, on my list of things for this day was to write a new TikTok. I said, Doug, it'd be fun to create a short form experience that your viewers haven't seen before, but quite frankly, I didn't have the time for that, so we're forced to improvise. This is a trick I wanted to promote, and I'm going to promote it this way as I do the trick. I got to address the Mogus Man. Can I recommend cheap linking rings to buy? So at conjure.com, I offer a value set. It's $50. It's an 8-inch size. They're decent. I would. I'm not gonna dump on these, but I'll tell you this. I ordered these before I ordered off eBay. This is the Amar set, which I have issues with. I'm undecided if I will keep these or offer them as a prize or sell them to someone, but for a number of reasons, these TCC Amar rings, which are quite lovely, they just have issues with my routine. I would say these are not the ones. But maybe they'll be yours on a prize one day. I suggest eBay. Go to eBay and type in linking rings. If you can find a Magic Masters set or a bumper set, which I found listed as a vintage set, and I found more than one. So as we speak today, we know that they're available on eBay. So go there and look around. Hey, Trickstore, I see you, and guess what? Kirsten should be receiving her signed card. Hey, Kirsten, what's up? You watching today? I sent you guys a package. It's on its way to the UK, because sometimes I do things like that. Yeah, the TC Small are a different animal. So here we go. The trick in question is this. It's finding selected cards. Let's talk about this, finding a selected card. Now, when people see me do this kind of thing, the general inclination is that I'm going to use some kind of sleight of hand to accomplish that task. And quite frankly, you'd be right. But I'm going to maybe offer a method that doesn't use sleight of hand. And to do that, we'll just take these three cards as though they were the selected king, queen, and jack of clubs. And however you choose to control them, they go back in the pack together. Now, the goal is this, to find the cards without sleight of hand. And to do that, I will use a veil of darkness to protect the pack from my nimble digits. So that's three selected cards. That's one pack under a veil of darkness. Now watch as the first card, the king of clubs, ascends beneath the veil. Right from the center of his pack, on his own accord. Now, I do this thing. People think it's still sleight of hand. Maybe I hold the deck. Maybe I push it up here. Let's get a cup over here. Look, we'll do this. No hands. Come on. Queen of clubs, come out and dance. And I do nothing, but hey, I do it so well. This is the power of a good, well, certainly a good trick deck of cards. And this one is exactly that. That's the power of the rising. Oh, I forgot one. I forgot the jack. Watch the jack from his paper prison ascend. There's the jack of clubs. And that is your improv TikTok magic trick. I don't even know if that was really a TikTok style, but that was kind of the notion. So here's what was in my mind. Here's what was in my mind as I was doing this trick. I'm going to hook the viewer with sleight. So when I open that sequence, I'll talk about what that was in a moment. So when I opened that sequence, I started with some fancy cuts. So I say, when I do these card tricks, you might assume that it's sleight of hand. So right away, I'm saying, okay, when I'm giving you a hook. When I do these card tricks, you might assume it's sleight of hand, but hey, it doesn't have to be that. And here, let me show you. So now, hopefully, we've piqued our audience's attention. When the cards, I've done this trick as a short, actually. When I did it before, I used Flourish Productions to produce the king and the queen and the jack as I'm introducing the effect. And then the plot hopefully keeps the viewer's attention maintained as the cards start doing crazy things. And again, this is a good bonus as a magician, especially if we're doing a routine where the effect builds as it should theatrically. This will maintain your viewer. And then you know, we want to wrap up our TikTok presentation normally with a little call to action. For example, today, hey, if you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. And that's not a call to action I normally suggest, but you hear a lot of YouTubers do this kind of thing, and the reason they do it is because it's important. It's the viewer's currency, you know? It's your receipt for what you watch. If you had a good time, you let us know by smashing the button. So what did you guys just see? Here's what you saw. The Rising card deck. This is old school magic. I just opened an account with, or reopened an account with Fun Incorporated, one of the old school magic dealers. And I'm super happy to see that they carry the Galdini, and I'm not going to expose this, but here's the whole secret right in here. The Galdini Card Ascend. This is your rising card gimmick. You get a couple other knickknacks in there with this thing as well. But this thing, you know, you can buy a lot of trick decks in this day and age. You can buy a lot of new ones that are crappy. Or you can buy some time-tested, proven, reasonably priced thing. And if you're interested in doing a card animation, the Galdini Rising card deck, whether you buy it from me or someone like Brent Braun, JB Magic, I know he has them. This is a deck worthy of your consideration. And where would you get such a thing, Mr. Doug? Well, you get conjure.com. That's my online jam where I support the shop. I support growing and magicians and just striving to make the world a better magic place, one trick at a time. Added a couple things there this week. I added the color changing chips. That's a fun one that the people have asked for. And what else we had? We had the Harry Potter cards. I've got the whole menagerie now. Hey, Daniel Roy's in the house. What's up, brother? Always good to see a kindred spirit in the vicinity. None more so than Daniel Roy, one of the top YouTube, in fact, one of my favorite YouTubers, card man extraordinaire. I assume everyone who watches me watches Daniel. If you don't, you should. There you go. They're showing up. Everyone say hello to Daniel, who, by the way, I still need to cash a receipt to show up on the Magic Guys and have a little chit chat. We're pretty busy the next couple of weeks, but maybe we get you in May. Maybe. I'm sure we would be super excited if I could pressure you into committing on a live podcast, a live stream. So as I segue to, let me get this capitalism off the. Thanks, bud. Yeah, that's it. I used to sell those rising cards back in the 80s at Magic Masters when I was a pitchman. I used to pitch Magic to the unwitting tourists at the Riverwalk Mall in New Orleans. As we segue, I'm going to spend about 5-10 minutes, at least 5, doing a chit chat here with anyone who has questions. I'm just going to do a little loose unboxing of a package that came to me from the Organic Playing Card Company. Matthew Mosley. That's blasphemy. You need, sorry, I don't mean to use that phrase for you. You need to correct that and put Daniel Roy on your radar. Yes, let's be proactive and do that. So, Organic Playing Cards as a new release. They were kind enough to send me these a couple of weeks ago, and due to my crazy schedule, this package has remained unopened to this day. I think this is one of the weirder releases, and what this is a custom deck of cards, and I thought, heck man, we can get this knocked out today. We'll just open these things on stream. So, I have no affiliation with the Organic Playing Card Company. They simply messaged me on the TikTok and they said, hey, Doug, would you like some cards? And I said, yeah, I would. I like cards. So they said, okay, we'll send you some. And I said, okay, I'll do a video or something. And so before I do a video, and I guess this counts, technically this is a video, we need to open these pasteboards. Here's the first thing you know when you shop with Organic Playing Card Company. You're well protected. They practice safe playing cards. Très bien. So, holy mackerel. Hey, this works for me as someone who, generosity. Triple love. As someone who practices packaging things on a regular basis, I do appreciate a well-packaged pack. And this is the Snackers Raspberry flavored. And these are an interesting packaging. Certainly piqued my interest here. I've seen some other decks packaged this style. The Boba Tea. Man, why is this gentleman's name escaping? Tao. God, I remember the name. Anyway, here's what I'm interested in. Do they really smell like raspberry? Supposedly these are raspberry scented. So here's your official unboxing, Organic Playing Card Company and the internet. Yes, card men can be geeky enough to pack playing cards in candy-coated packaging. Holy cow. It smells like raspberry. We could just stop now, right? So look, if I'm buying cards, like if I'm perusing Theory 11, this pink raspberry deck is probably not Grandpa Magic's go-to pack, but I must say, maybe it is for you. I know lots of people like pink, and I know lots of people like candy. So let's see what these cards feel like. And let's see if I can do this without injuring myself. If I do a Magic convention this weekend. Guess a smart man would have tested the pull tabs. Maybe I'll do that on the TikTok unboxing. Always curious, of course, what gimmicks these cards come with, what the aces look like, the faces on the cards, and more importantly than that, how do they feel? Well, the finish is smooth. All right, so the back is simple. This is well, it's a raspberry deck, so there's raspberries on it, and there. Let's move it out of frame right when it focuses, Mr. Conn. This is the quality we've come to expect from a Duck Hunt stream. Dang it. Sorry, Organic Playing Card Company. I'm trying to get you a good view. I don't know what that is. Ochre? Oh, there we go. There's some focus. Oh, the Jokers. Ochre. Joker. Joker. All right, so the faces are somewhat standard with a raspberry-esque hue to them. I don't know if you can get that feeling coming across on the screen. The faces of the red cards are lighter, a pink-esque kind of, apologies for the poor focus. And let's see how these things handle. Our gimmick is a double face card, and that's handy dandy. If you know, you know, and if you don't, well, you don't need to. Of course, first thing people are generally interested in is how do they faro. So let's see if we can get a perfect one done. I missed the cut, but that was a pretty good weave. Uno más, por favor. Let's go for perfect. With the Jokers in, it's always a little weird. All right, there we go. Every card interweaved with every other brother. And this has been your Snackers unboxing. Yeah, you can get a fan. I'm going to do a few things as we continue to chat. I would say, you know, these were probably more suited to an effeminate person. And I don't want to say that I'm not the person for this deck, but I'm probably not. But they handle well. They're cute. And I know I'm going to open at least one more of these, but let me check with the organic folks. Maybe they'd be cool with me doing a giveaway of one of these decks. We'll set one of these sides for you to win on the platforms. All the court cards interact with different raspberry themed foods and snacks. Oh, they do. Jimmy knows. Focus. Focus. Let's try camera B. Sorry, folks. No idea why it's not focusing. Look, the queen has pie. The king has cookies. Let's see here. Let me do some card tricks. I'll do an impromptu. I'll do an impromptu notion with the ochres, which is also a good. I could maybe teach you all some of the theatricalities of a good lie, which is important if you're going to do magic. You have to know a good lie or two. So we'll give you a couple of those as we introduce some of these cards. Here we go. I'll give you all a card trick. Let's make this. There, we'll make it semi-professional. First, we'll begin by apparently shuffling. Yeah, remember, I'm just going to lie a bunch here. This is sit back, relax, and enjoy a loose minute or two of lies as we use 4 random cards. Here we go from a well shuffled deck. That's 1, 2. That's a 3, 4. And we'll start with the random Ace of Spades. It's a random Ace of Spades. Now watch the ace. If I reverse count it from the face, it comes up to the top. Now, of course, that's a lie. And that means that I can take the ace, which is not really on the top, put it on the bottom, and then it'll look, I can do the magic to make it look like it comes up to the top. Yeah, and I can do that because when I say I put it on the bottom, I don't really. It's a lie. Yeah, it's a lie. Now, this means a couple of things. This means that I can put the ace to the table and then make it come back to the top here. And I can do that because when I say I put it on the table, it's a lie. I don't really put it down there. No. I've done this trick for a while. I've had a few people accuse me of using all of the same cards. So ever since then, I do a trick with the queen pie. They say, okay, David, it's the queen with the pie. Yeah, I'm using all the same card. That's a queen with the pie over here. That's a queen with the pie over here. That's a queen with the pie, and over here that's a. Now you know that that's got to be a lie because there's no way I got 4 of the queens with the pies. They only come 1 to a deck. You can't do that unless you lie. So I do this. I use jokers. Yeah, I use jokers to make that happen. I use 4 of them. Where are they, Mr. Conn? Let's find out together. That's a joker. Yeah, the jokers are the wild card. So if you use 1, if you use not just 2 jokers, but you also want to use a 3rd joker. And then if you use a 4th joker, then you can have what appears to be 4 cards all the same. And that is also a lie. Yeah, everyone knows that there's only 2 jokers in a deck of cards. And here's how I find the jokers. I turn some of the cards, I turn some upside down, some right side up, and then we shuffle the cards together. Now, as I'm shuffling this direction, I'm looking through the face-ups for the jokers. So if I see them, I know where the jokers are. If I don't see them in the face-up pile, this is going to indicate that the jokers are one of the face-down cards. And if that's the case, this is going to narrow it down considerably. Yeah, it's simple mathematics. You just look through the face-down cards. Oh, look, there appears to be 2 and only 2 face-down cards. Yeah, those are the jokers I talked about, and that was a loose lie as well. There you go, by request, impromptu, unscripted, certainly unprepared, a couple of raspberry, no pun intended, a couple of raspberry, excuse me, card tricks. And hey, thank you, Organic Playing Cards, for sharing the love. If you want to share the love with me, if you have stuff and you want to give me some of it, send me an email. I'll probably say yes, and then I'll probably open it on the internet and try and make it look good. Whee! All right, that's all I want to talk about today. Mogus Man is happy to know how all that's done. Yeah, that's pretty standard material for me there. That was me phoning it in, as I am barely prepared to be on the internet today, much less do hardcore magic. Heck, we barely got this stream started as it was. And now after the stream, I get to go back and learn how to edit a stream that was live and started with no sound, because that's the way we started today. Mogus Man's magic knowledge has increased. My goal here is to generally make better magic on a regular basis. I hope my average viewer feels this way. If you are a magician who participates in my tutorials or teachings, and if you're just a muggle, well, thanks for watching. You're appreciated as well. So Switch Kid, I would love to stick around. So I've got so much to do, the least of which is laundry. I'm leaving tomorrow about midnight, so I got about 24 hours to pack a van or a car full of magic, and I still haven't even packed my act yet. So I literally have to get my act together. Maybe I'll think of one other trick to do, but hey, if there's anyone, well, there's worse guys to know than me. If there's anything you'd like to talk about, now's the time to get it out. Questions, comments, these things. Oh my. So Goldbug, on April Fool's Day, I will be at a magic convention with 100 other magicians. It proves to be an interesting April Fool's, I'm sure. Do I have any official plans? No. I don't have any plans at all. It's just not to get injured. during A, the fall of a performance, or B, perhaps during a prank. Mogus Man asked for a good one, which I have to be ready to do. Hey, bro, give me a loose minute to situate a thing, and maybe we'll do that. I don't know that I've ever been at a magic convention with, 100 other magicians, but I anticipate that it's going to be a very interesting April Fool's Day. I'll be spending the day with Alan Ackerman, Mike Powers, Steve Reynolds, Chris Korn, Howard Hamburg is there, Joe Monte's going to be around. There's a lot of great magic in the St. Louis area that stems from, well, just a long heritage. Matthew wants the giveaways. I will, but look, this isn't a giveaway channel. I'll do them occasionally. Once I'm a wealthy man, I'll give away a lot of things, but I'm still not wealthy. But But I give back when I can, and I think anyone that's in my radar will know that I give sometimes to a fault. Now, pardon me as I loosely stack the deck for a trick that's in my lecture and that I haven't performed probably in about 2 months, and that maybe I'll perform for you guys today as the last number. I'll tell you what it is after I'm done doing it. Someone already mentioned it. I need to have more coin matrices in my axe. Some would argue exactly the opposite of that. Ed McGowan, it's going to be your crew up there, buddy. I will represent... Oh, this is fine. King. Ed, you should just jump in the car or get on a plane and come to the convention, bro. I know you'd enjoy it. Why am I doing this wrong, King? There. This is a lesson in what not to do. Remember when I was talking about making sure something of interest is happening all the time? When it's not, that's what happens. It's super boring and people leave. Hey, Gary, good to see you. I was in Orlando in January, which would have been great to know if you were there then. There was a convention called the Gator Gate Gathering. The Gator Gate Gathering. And yeah, I was there, I don't know, first week in January. Let me check one more time. Hold on, before I get into this thing and make a nincompoop of myself. I don't know. It feels right, but let's do this. Before I do it, we'll mess it up. So they're well stacked, but now maybe not. Now maybe they are. I think I missed my strip out there. All right, let's stop the shuffling. Let's not. We'll do one more. We'll do an overhand. Oh, man. Needs work, Conn. Needs work. All right, take one of the die. One of the die. We'll roll it out. That's a 5, so we deal 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good start. Yeah, you deal 5 because it's a 5. I'll roll another one. This is all random, and if you were here, you would roll the dice for me. That's a 2. That's a 1, 2. So you deal 2 for the 2. We'll do the last 2 simultaneously or together. You could do it either way, simultaneously or together. That's a 6 and a 2. That's an 8. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. just play along like that was fine. So yeah, that was a 5, and that is a 5. That's a 5, and that's a 5. That's a 2, and that's a 2, and that's a 6 and a 2, and that's an 8, and that's an 8. And that's the trick by request coincidice. Now, there is phase 2, and as we segue to phase 2, I'll answer Ryan's the Smurfs question. Yeah, I did used to skateboard, but I used to skateboard back in the 70s. It wasn't quite as extreme, you know? I would do the tic-tac, and maybe I'd do a 360. But I was an extreme bike rider. This is phase 2, by the way. Let's take the glimpse. All right, we did the glimpse. Phase 2. I used to jump my bike. Let me roll that again, just for fairness. So I would jump, oh, a 1, perfect. I'll have to work extra hard. For a 1, you just deal 1 card. Repeat the procedure. This is a lot easier when you have spectators here to roll the dice. For a 6, you deal 6 cards. I'll have to bottom deal to compensate for crap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1 is 12. For 12, we got to cut 14. That's going to give us the last king. Yeah, that's the last king. And that's the one that matches the king at the first position, and then the king at the 6th position, and then the king at the 5th from there. And that, ladies and germs, is coincidice. Coincidice. Woo! Bringing the flair back. Wow, that was a train wreck. Culmination of years of hard work and practice and lonely nights. How do I come up with my original material? It's generally the result of trying to solve a problem with an effect that I'm studying. So You know, I try magic, I find a problem with it, something that doesn't work for me. How do you solve that? And that's my original material. I'm not an original creator. Coincidence, that's an original piece. That's a plot that had no precursor. It exists on its own. There's no inspirational point for that effect. But usually, yeah. Woo! Usually it's the result of trying to correct a problem with an effect. So I read a lot and I get inspired that way. Yes, you push through mistakes, Jimmy. That's the key. Now, the real key here is this. If you're a magician performing and you run into a problem, something goes wrong, rarely will your audience know this unless you let them know. So if you just continue on in a positive manner and just, you know, dig into your bag of tricks to escape the, you know, whatever turmoil you're in, you can usually get out of it. And at the very least, they won't know that you're in trouble, but maybe things won't be a great piece of magic. Goldbug has been enjoying the Magic Guys podcast. You know, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Jason and Josh. So yeah, this podcast, The Magic Guys, if you're not familiar with it, I started listening to it during the pandemic. Jason Maher, street magician dude. I'm sure many kindred spirits know him. He's a great short creator. And then Josh Norbito, a wonderful professional from down under, corporate worker mainly, great magician, wonderful personality. And I was introduced to these guys. I listened to the podcast. They invited me on the podcast. And then I slowly integrated as one of the Magic Guys. And now we do it in the States, it's every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we have guests, and hopefully Daniel Roy will be on there with us in the near future. It's good to see him here in the live event today as well. Feeling kind of red today. This up by again saying, once again, thank you to everyone who reached into their hearts and their wallets, donated to the GoFundMe for my daughter and my grandchildren. Super thankful for that. Thank you to everyone who continues to support the membership and Conjure.com. Thank you for that. And if you can't do any of those things, folks, speaking of thankful people that support, what's up, Jake? Ingame 64. Good to see you as well. Jake is always there. Always. And one of the supporters. I saw many. I can't name them all. If I named them, I'd forget someone and I'd feel bad about it. I know many of you are in the chat with us today. So thanks again. Yeah. Hey, Jake, that package, I mailed it today. It's on the way to you this afternoon, along with your rising cards and color changing chips. Thanks for ordering everything. Thank you, brother. And you too, Jesse. Your package is on the way as well. Jesse got the notes, also got Boba's Coin Magic, which warms my heart. That was one of my first sleight of hand magic books, and I think it's a required study. So good choice, good choice. Do I get free cards from companies? Rarely. I did today, but rarely. If you know anybody, hook a guy up. Yeah. All right, y'all, if you have anything important, now's the time to get it in. I'm going to do like a 30-second countdown as we wind up this magic fiesta. I'll finish the mana juice. Yeah, Matthew, I buy my cards at Walmart normally because I go through so much of them. I use the cheap ones. But I'm certainly interested in having some, some card people joining the fray. Alexa, volume up. Alexa, volume up. Today it's jazz. So I plan to shoot a video tutorial today, Jake. It's going to be next week. It's just this week has been insane with me dealing with my family, getting these notes printed, preparing for the convention, and other things, least of which is car problems. I'll be doubling down. You guys will have a new tutorial next week for sure. Thank you, Matthew. I look forward to it. That's what I need, some liquid fuel. I'll go find some of that now. Thanks for the well wishes, Gary. Best wishes to you Monday with the doctor. I'll talk to you Tuesday then. Greetings, India. 10 million. My ball in one. I got 1 million on the vision board, hoping we can get there by the end of the year. We're gonna tighten the screws down hardcore coming up through May, June, July. Thank you, Alec. Thank you, buddy.